Thank you very much. Actually, the panel was supposed to have also Mr. Zoran Jelic from Croatia. And he's an ex-drug addict, and he couldn't come to this meeting because he couldn't have a visa. So we have missed his presentation at the panel. He had sent a statement, but this was supposed to be presented from the floor, and I haven't seen who was supposed to read this statement. So the next speaker will be number 1393.
Hello, my name is Randy Thompson from Help Not Handcuffs. We are a recovery-oriented group that recognizes the harms of drug criminalization policies and seek to remove them. I want to thank you for your presentations, thank the UN leadership and the New York NGO Committee for this opportunity to have input at this critical discussion. I wanted to keep my comments to recognizing some of the very brutal realities that drug criminalization policies have on the populations they are supposed to be protecting, particularly drug-using populations and persons who may be struggling to gain recovery. This is also in recognition that these populations, which are very large, are driven into interaction with law enforcement and the criminal justice system only because of the prohibition. That these are people who would not have these interactions and would not be subjected to this egregious risk if not for prohibition policies. Some of the risks I'm talking about are arrest-related deaths. 5,000 people in America over several years lost their lives just during the process of arrest. Police brutality in 1 year alone had 26,000 complaints of people who thought they were brutalized by officers. Deaths, sexual victimization, assault, and exploitation in jail. Many of these egregious violations are not even documented, but I can tell you that in 1 year alone, nearly 1,000 people in the adult jail population only did die, and 300 people completed suicide, as well as nearly 12,000 people were sexually victimized when they were put into jail by another person housed there. Even more people were sexually victimized by the correctional staff. So please keep in mind that when we speak about drug courts and involving the criminal justice system that believe in these types of punitive sanctions, that we are exposing this highly vulnerable population to risk. Please keep in mind that when we coerce people into going to drug treatment facilities and they have their rights taken away, they cannot leave an unhealthy situation, and they're exposed to these same exact risks because people do, unfortunately, are subjected to sexual victimization, violent assault, or death in a drug treatment facility. And we just want to know that this is in addition to the intentional harms of arrest, which cause a great deal of harm to each individual as they try to re-engage society, gain employment, housing, education, and go on with their lives. Our key recommendations are to look at the models, as in Colorado, Washington, Alaska, that have taken responsibility for illicit markets, that have taken away that very lucrative source of funding for organized crime and have instead taken control of it and reduced these arrests. They have stopped this interaction, this forced interaction. They no longer squander their resources, and we think that should be seriously considered going forward, as well as decriminalizing all drugs. Thank you for your time and the opportunity to make this statement.